Well, hello once again, sports fans. Today I'm going to show you how to remove, clean and re-oil your air filter in one of these KTM 50s. It's a job that needs to be done regularly. It's extremely important for engine life. First thing we're going to do is grab this ring, turn it counterclockwise like that, and the seat's just going to come straight off. Okay, so under the seat you'll find the air filter cage here and the air filter here below. What we need to be aware of is there could be some dirt surfacing on top. So you can see a bit here. So when we remove the cage and the filter, we want to make sure none of the dirt falls into the airbox. So to remove the cage, there's a little latch here. We're going to pull forward, and it's going to pop up like that. And there's the cage. Now, just be aware, like I said, there's bits of dirt here. So we're going to pick up the filter and make sure none falls into the air boot. So what I like to do after I remove the filter is just make sure nothing's got into the air boot. So sometimes you hear about filters not having enough oil and leaking, but get some dust goes into the air boot. If that happens, you need to be aware. So I just get a little torch here, just shine it down and have a look down the air boot. I have sort of also known filters to be over-oiled, and in that case, oil could drip down into the air boot and clog up the carburetor, which will lead to obvious problems. Okay, so to clean the old air filter, we sort of make it into 3 steps. So the first step is to remove the oil, the second step is to remove the dirt, and the third step is to remove the soap that we've used to remove the first 2. So the first step is to remove the oil, which we're going to use kerosene. Just your kerosene from the supermarket or Bunnings or whatever. I use this container here. I reuse the kerosene. So I fill up the container, then multiple air filters to be washed over the course of a couple of months. So we just place the air filter in there, give it a squeeze, make sure the kerosene soaks through, and that should remove most of the oil for us. What it won't do though is remove the dirt. So that's step 2, is to remove the dirt. To remove the dirt, we put the air filter into a bucket or a container or a sink of very, very warm soapy water, and we just knead the air filter and let it sit there for 5 or 10 minutes to make sure all the soap soaked through and all the dirt is being removed. Step 3 is to remove the soap. Because I don't want the soap still in there when we're trying to put fresh oil on. It's going to eat away, counteract each other. So we just get you just get water out of a tap, preferably warm water, and just run that through the filter. Make sure we remove all the soap. Give it a squeeze, let it run through, and when we're confident all the soap and there's no dirt left, you have a good inspection, just place it on a drying rack or place somewhere to dry, and give it 24 hours. Now I suggest you do this in your shed or your workshop or out of the house. I wouldn't use your laundry sink because it does smell a lot, the oils do smell, the kerosene smells a lot. So now the filter's dry, what we're going to do, we're going to get the filter and we're going to place it into a Ziploc bag. So from there, we're just going to add the air filter oil. So I've just got a Motol here. Just use whatever quality brand you prefer. And what we're going to do, got it here, and we're just going to add a little bit in. We don't want to go overboard, about that much. We're going to seal up the bag, try to remove all the air, and now we're going to start kneading it. And what we're trying to do is get the entire filter covered in oil. Just like this. You might need to add some more, if you haven't got enough. It looks like I have. Sometimes you don't put enough in, and you just add a little bit more. And that, to me, looks pretty good. Okay, so now we're going to remove it out of the bag. Do yourself a favour, throw some gloves on. Just some rubber gloves. Discard that bag, and we're going to squeeze all the excess oil out. So we're not going to wring the filter, we're just going to squeeze. So we're not looking for the filter to be saturated, but we need it to be covered, or good coverage. So we don't want excess oil. You see we've got blotches like that, little blotchy patches. That's sort of the thing we want to avoid. So I just give it a good squeeze and let it come out the bottom of my glove like that, until you can't squeeze any more out. We don't want to wring it. Do not wring it. You just want to squeeze. We've squeezed out all the surplus. We're going to get a fresh Ziploc bag. We're just going to pop it in like that. I usually like to let them sit there for a couple of hours, or you can seal it up like that and leave it. You could leave that for, you know, weeks ahead and have them pre-prepared, ready to go. So we've had the filter in the bag for an hour. Happy the oil was sort of settled and got a bit of air to it. We've just cleaned up the rim here with a bit of brake cleaner, just to make sure there's no dirt there that's going to fall in. Just going to reinstall that filter, freshly oiled. Just like that. And then we're going to put the cage here in the back, and it's just going to click in the top like that. And that's all we need to do. So there's your air filter, freshly installed. Obviously replace the seat now or reinstall the seat, unless you're trying to get your child to stand up when they're riding, then leave it off. No worries guys, see you in the next one.